Hello, Cheapskaters. Welcome to tonight's show. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of April, 2024, and this is a YouTube live show. My name is Kath, and I am the creator of the Cheapskates Club, where our goal is to live life debt-free, cashed up, and laughing. So we have 6 comments. We've got 27 people watching. That's really good. So early. And hello, Beverly. Hello, Danny's Average Life, Wild Woman, Sylvia, Michelle, Utah, Julie. Hi, Joy. You got an evening off? No dancing tonight. Hello, Pat. Haven't seen you for ages. It is early in Ohio. Hello, Cheryl. Your pies looked lovely today. They were mouth-watering. Just looked perfect. Hello, Estelle. Hope your headache goes very soon. Hi, Tegan. Hello, Hev. How you going? All righty. And Kylie. All right, I want to jump right in and get started as quickly as we can so that we can get finished on time. Now, live chat is enabled. If you're watching this live, you just need to be logged into a Gmail or YouTube account. You can join the live chat. If you don't have either of those, it's not a problem. You can leave comments below me. I do read all your comments after the show. If you have a question, remember all capitals, so it stands out in the chat and I can come back and find it at the end. Otherwise, they tend to get lost. And of course, if you put it all in capitals and someone already in the chat has an answer, they will be able to help you too. Oh, okay. Well, afternoon's probably better, isn't it? Especially coming into winter. Joy, I'm talking to Joy now. She said they've stopped Tuesday night dancing. They're doing Wednesday afternoons. Afternoons coming into winter is probably better, I would think. Okay, VMAX, hi. Pop those babies into bed. Let them have a good night's sleep. Tomorrow is going to be a busy, busy day. It's Wednesday, hump day. It is a busy day. Right, let's go. We're talking about Cheapskate's bill paying system this week. We've been talking about budgeting, creating budgetings and so on for the last couple of weeks. This week we're going to talk about bills. We all have them. We all have them. Even debt-free people have bills that need to be paid and they need to be kept on top of. And we all know that paying your bills on time means you don't pay late fees, you don't have any interest charges, there's no hassling, worrying about, getting behind on things. So it's really easy to keep your finances in order and avoid all those fees and charges that are totally unnecessary if you use my bill paying system, the Cheapskates bill paying system. Now, I have used this for, I was going to say decades, and it would be at least 30 years. This is how I run our bills, our finances. Bills come in, bills get noted, bills get paid, bills get filed. It's really simple. It's straightforward, and it just means I always know what has to be paid and when it has to be paid and how much has to be paid. It's quite easy. There's no excuse when you have either our bill paying system or creating one of your own. There's no excuse if you have a system in place for not paying your bills on time, especially if you have a working budget or spending plan, because you have everything you need in one neat, handy place. It's ready to quickly and easily process those bills and be done with it. It doesn't take hours, guys. If it took hours, I wouldn't be doing it, because back in the day, I had 3 babies. I didn't have time to be spending hours each week working out bills and what had to be paid when and where it was going to come from and where it was going to go and whatever. Did not have the time, also didn't have the desire. I still don't have the desire to spend hours every week processing bills. Within the bill paying system, there's a couple of extra little planner sheets that might help you with your spending plan, with your long-term financial goals, things like that. We'll cover those as we go through them. We've even got one for the payment push so that you can get rid of that debt. With a bill paying system, be it the Cheapskate's bill paying system or another one, it lets you see at a glance what bills have been paid, what bills are outstanding, how much you need to have to cover those bills. That's the really important thing. And that's why the last couple of weeks we've talked about getting your budget set up and working and getting it so that you have your accounts, your bill account set up so that the money goes in each pay period. So when the bill comes in, the money is there. You do not need to stress about it. It is really simple. Honestly, it takes probably under 5 minutes to do all your bills. And they're done, processed for the month. Now, you can make our system, and the printables are, I'll put a link to them. They're in the Members Centre on the tip sheets page under Tools and Guides. But I just use, I'll show you what I use, and it's in perfect condition because I look after it. But I have this folder, just a green lever arch folder. There you go. I think it's at spending. Can you see that? Spending plan. And that's what I use. Now I emptied it out because it was sort of quite full. I've emptied it out for the purpose of this exercise and to maintain some privacy. Come on, guys. Our bills are our bills, not your bills. Thanks, Estelle. Sorry, I just sort of saw a question from Danny's Average Life. Yes, of course you can. Go to our channel. They're all there. There's lives and recorded videos. So a folder, you need something to keep your sheets in. A folder works really, really well because it's long-lasting, sturdy. If you've got kids in high school, you can probably get one for nothing. I've actually been contemplating painting mine. I'm a bit sick of the colours. I was sort of thinking I might go something a bit different. Thought I'd get the chalk paint out and revamp them, but that's another stream of thought. Anyway, so lost my place. You'll need a ring binder. You will need your printables, so your bill payment reminder sheet, your payday bill planning sheet. There we go, just making sure I've got them in the right order for you. Can you see those? There we go, payday bill planning sheet. This is an important one. I know lots of people don't do this, but it's a monthly bill summary, just so that you know what's been paid each month, how much was paid, if it was paid on time, that sort of thing. Then we have some optional printables. One of them is the daily spending record. Now, this was mentioned a couple of weeks ago in our show. I talk a lot about tracking your spending. When you want to build a budget, you want to stay debt free, you want to build savings, you need to track your spending. You need to know how much you spend, where you spend it, what you spend it on. You need to know that stuff. I know that there's this trend at the moment to do, no budget, and people that say, oh, tracking is just too hard. As long as I've just got money in the bank to pay the bills, I'm happy. And maybe they are. But could they be doing better if they, kept a record for even just a week? so they could see just how much they actually waste, perhaps, how much is unnecessary that could go towards building their savings, building their emergency fund, paying down debt. Tracking your spending is really important. And I was going to say it's character building, but it shows a level of responsibility for yourself and your actions. It shows that, and it teaches you to be responsible for your finances. Tracking your spending is important. Another thing that I mentioned just before is the payment push planning sheet, and we'll go over that too. Payment push is simply picking a debt, focusing on it, getting rid of it, moving on to your next debt. It's the easiest, it's the simplest and fastest way to get rid of your debt. In theory, it is easy, and if you're really focused, it's a breeze. If you waver, you might have a bit of a moment where you fall off the wagon, but that's okay because you can get back on again. And then we've got financial history. Now, it's just a little add-in for you, but it's really good to know. We'll go over this one too. And the last one is something that we tend to not perhaps track so much, but we should because we need this information at tax time. But it's a donations and charities log. So they're the sheets in my folder. I print them off at the beginning of the year, put holes in them and stick them in the folder, and I have one per month. How you do it is entirely up to you. You could do it each month. I like to do it at the beginning of the year, get myself set up, and I run our household finances from January to December. I don't know why I do. I just do. Business finances are July to June. It's just the way I do things, guys. You can do it however you like. Right. They're the sheets. They're over there. You can print them off. Easy peasy. I would also suggest that you have some dividers for your folder and throw in some page protectors. Page protectors are really versatile little things because you can then slip your bills and your receipts into them. Okay, now, if you're going to use dividers, set them up so that they're for your bill categories. So for us, we have utilities, and within that we've got electricity, gas, phone, internet. Then we have house insurance. Cars is one big thing, and then we've got subcategories. What else do we have? Holidays, insurances. Mostly, I'm trying to think what the bills are because I took them all out. Okay, we have utilities, we have insurances, we have our car. Under car, we've got car 1, car 2, and that's things like registration goes in there, that sort of thing. They're all pretty much categories from your budget, your spending plan. The next thing you need to do is collect all your current bills and fill out your sheets. Really, really simple. Now, with your bill payment reminder sheet, look at that. I've got one S that's the wrong colour. To go in and fix that. This is the sheet. It's just sort of sits in the front of the folder, and I jot down the regular bills that come in throughout the year. You know, house insurance is August, car registration for Wayne is September, car registration for me is December, that sort of thing. School fees are terms or however you pay them, so that you can see at a glance If you've got, you know, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, these little things, just drop them into the space. And it shows you which bills are due each month. You just open it and go, uh-oh, it's May. Oh my goodness, we have to pay, we're due to pay the water and the electricity in May. Okay. And you know, just so that you know, you keep them at the back of your mind, and it just helps you stay on track. Nothing gets missed. You know that nothing is going to get missed. All right. Then we've got, okay, how are we going? Sorry, guys. Hi, everyone. Enjoy New Zealand. Glad you're enjoying them. Maureen, don't worry about it. Delaney, you can get here when you get here. I hope your sewing's been successful. Okay, moving right along. Your payday bill planning sheet. I have one per month. Let me see if I got one. No, okay. I do one per month. So this next month will be May. Now on the sheet, it's divided into 4 for the 4 weeks. There's a column to write the bill, a column to write the amount, and then total, so that I know we've got water and electricity, however much they are when they come in. Can you not see that? I can't see because I clicked off it. Yep. And I put in the amounts, and at the bottom I put the total, so I know how much I need to have for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the month. It helps you sort your bills out by payday, especially if you are new to your spending plan or your budgeting and you haven't got your bill account filled up with bill money yet. So you're still working on building it so that you can have the money there. So this helps you. It helps you budget so that you can work out too, if you want to, while you're setting up your regular bill account, a weekly, fortnightly, monthly, however often you get paid amount to move into your bill account. So you can just do an average and work it out and do it that way to move into your bill account. You just know then that at least some of the money is there. Again, it's paying bills is a mind game. Just like saving money is a mind game, paying bills is a mind game. Lots of people dread it, usually because they're not prepared for it. By being as prepared as you possibly can be, it takes the dread and the stress out, and it makes it really simple. Right. So, like I said, each sheet covers a month. So if you paid weekly, fill out the details for each week. If you paid fortnightly, do 2, or monthly, you only need to do 1. Just so that you can see what needs to be paid at a glance. It's a little more detailed than your yearly sheet, so that, you know, we know car in August, car in December, whatever. But they don't usually have amounts next to them. Now, the next one I've got is the bill payment summary. Ta-da! Again, a month. Put a month in it. Have 1 per month. You might need to print off 2 or 3 if you have a lot of bills. We're at the stage of our life now where we don't have a lot of bills anymore. Thank goodness. We've done our share of paying bills. So we only need 1. Your bill summary, your monthly bill summary, is where you list your bills in the order they need to be paid. Does that make sense? not the order they come in, but the order they need to be paid. It's so that you can identify which bills have been paid and which still need to be paid each month. You do need at least one sheet per month. Now, going across, you've got the bill, the amount due, the date due. Very important to remember the date due. Then you've got the amount paid, the date it was paid, and I can't read it. Oh, the payment method. I couldn't read it backwards. I'm trying to figure out what that last column was, whether it was paid in cash. We hope it is. If you go to the post office, you can pay it in cash. Direct debit, BPay, credit card, debit card, whatever. Recording how you pay your bills helps keep you on track too. And it's a little reassuring to know if there's ever a hiccup in a bill and it comes back and you go, how did I pay that? You can go back to your sheet and go, oh, you beauty, paid it at the post office. There should be a receipt stapled to the bill in the folder. Go and find it. That's the basics of your bill paying system. Pretty much that's all you really need to keep on top of your bills. Balance them with your spending plan, your budget, and your bill accounts should have enough in them. You get into we've worked out how to budget for your bills. Should just sort of roll over. You shouldn't have to be stressing about whether you'll have the money to pay the electricity bill or the gas bill or whatever, the insurances or the car registration, because it will already be there. You just need to know how much, when it's due, how it was paid, keep a record of the receipt number. That's pretty much it. It takes, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe to do all that. Doesn't take long at all. If you set aside a regular time to do it, and I know that's not easy if you're working, you've got children, you're running around doing other things, you've got gardens to look after or parents to look after, or I don't know, we're all really busy. Even when we think we're going to have spare time, we fill it up with stuff. So we are all busy. But take a few minutes. Make a regular time. Schedule it in, whether it's at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning or 4 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, or if you get paid monthly, it could be 7:30 p.m. on the day you get paid. Just sit down for 5 minutes with your bills and your system, enter all the information, and you are done. It's easy, really, really easy. One of the smartest things, and it is really smart, but it's absolutely not new, but I just never thought of it for a while. Well, one of those things but you don't pay attention to. And I was speaking at a conference, and the speaker before me was a very busy mum of 9 who worked full time. She ran her own business. She was a vet. She ran her own veterinary practice, mother of 9 children. How she did it was amazing. And all she said to me was, if a piece of paper comes into her house and gets put into her hand, she dealt with it straight away. So children brought home a newsletter from school. She read it, wrote down anything, made a note of anything she needed to remember. Newsletter was gone. Mail was delivered. There was a bill in it. The bill went to her desk, to her bill tray to be dealt with on bill day. Nothing was ever just put down and I'll come back to that later. It was dealt with straight away. And I have to say that works. That system really works. Handle paper once. So your bills come in, it gets handled once. It gets recorded in your folder, You make a note of everything that's done, then the bill is filed. That's it. Handle it once. Saves a bucket load of time. Avoids a whole heap of messy paper everywhere on your desk or your table or under the fruit bowl or wherever you keep your paperwork. Handle it once. Comes in, deal with it straight away. Now, if that means the postman delivers the mail and it comes in and you put it on your desk and deal with it straight after tea, that's when you do it. But you only handle it once. You don't open it, look at it, think, oh, yes, I've got to do that. Put it aside to do later. Deal with it once. Such a time saver. And I was looking at this mum of 9 and thinking, that's how she does it. Paper only gets handled once. Because you imagine, she had kids in high school, kids in primary school, kids at daycare. So she had 3 lots of newsletters coming home, 3 lots of paintings or requests for reading help or Mother's Day help or whatever. All these things coming home constantly on top of all her regular paperwork for just running her house, running her home. Handle it once. Best idea ever. Keep them. You archive them. Jules wants to know what she does with the completed sheets at the end of the year. You need to keep them. Keep them for 5 years. Archive them. You can leave them in the folder, and just because there's not a lot of sheets, so easy to keep them, and just archive them. But you need to keep them for at least 5 years. 5 years, yeah, 5 years, just so that you've got records if you need them. Okay. All right. Alrighty, now where was I going? Sorry, that's that. What do I do? Yeah, you archive them. Archive them like you do all your paperwork. Just gets archived at the end of the year. Okay, now we're going to talk about the daily spending record. I know it's not something that people like to do. I don't know why they find it difficult. Do they make it? It shouldn't be difficult. Keep a track of where your money going is easy. You just need to record what you spend, where you spent it, what you bought, how you paid for it. It's really simple. Do that for a few weeks and it is really mind-blowing all the little leaks. And we all have them. I still have them too. And our budget's pretty tight, but there's still little every now and then I'll go, no, don't need that anymore. Fix it. You can really see where the leaks are. And it could be something as simple as canteen for the children. Our kids had canteen once a term. Once a term. They were allowed to have canteen for their lunch. That way, they absolutely loved it because it was a real treat. And it meant it kept the budget down because with the 3 of them, it came to $9.50 a week for the 3 lunches. Now, $9.50, that's not a lot really, but it is. When you don't have any money or you have a lot of debt or your mortgage has just gone up and you're wondering you're going to pay it, yes, that's a little leak that needs to be plugged. It might sound harsh to deny your children canteen. Seriously? On a Sunday night, let them help you make some muesli bars or honey joys or something as the treat to go in their lunchbox for the week. Help them chop up the fruit and make the dip to go in their lunchbox for the week. Get them more involved and keep the canteen money. And I will say that I didn't even pay for the canteen. My mum and Wayne's mum paid for the kids to have canteen. I know, because otherwise I would have said no, because really, a sausage roll in a roll, I'm really sorry. I do not know who invented that, but it is disgusting. So daily spending record for looking for leaks. I went off on a tangent then too. Sorry, guys. Just keeping a track of your spending. Just jotting down where the money's going, on the little things even. And it might even be that extra trip to the supermarket outside of your regular shopping days when you go, oh, I forgot to get sour cream, and you go in to get sour cream, and oh, look, those bananas look all right, so we'll get some bananas, and then we'll get, oh, look, and before you know it, you've filled up your little basket and spent $80 on nothing. Keep a track of what you spend. Whether you use that printable or whether you use your notebook, keep a note on your phone, doesn't really matter, but track your spending. Track your spending. And it is not difficult. It's only difficult if you make it difficult. Okay. When you track your spending, you find the leaks. It lets you adjust your spending so that you can adjust your budget and fix them. Because some of them might be things that need to be in your budget that you weren't aware of or that you've forgotten. Just something to think about. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the payment push. If you really want to get rid of debt, use a payment push. I've got the planning sheet there for you, and all you need to do is list your debts and work out the fastest and easiest way to eliminate them. So, to my way of thinking, the first thing you need to do if you want to use a payment push is promise yourself no new debt. No more credit cards, no more borrowing, no more running out of grocery money and going, oh, I'll just take it out of the bill money. No more. If you don't have the cash, you can't afford it. So no new debt. That's the number one thing for the payment push and for getting out of debt. The other thing to remember is it really is a head game. It's a mind game. Remind yourself that you are working to get rid of your debt and you're going to do it in however long it's going to take. We'll get to that in a moment. It's not forever. It's only for a short time. In the grand scheme of your life, the payment push is only going to be for a little bit of time. You're only going to have to sacrifice your daily hot dog for a short amount of time. It's not forever. It is just until you've cleared your debt. It's a mind game. Don't look on paying off your debt as a drudge. Look on it as a challenge that you are going to thrash. You are going to beat that challenge. You are going to work really hard and you are going to get rid of that debt in double quick time. Then we get down to the nitty gritty and you actually need to come up with a debt repayment schedule. Now, we touched on this lightly last week, I think, where if you have a debt to a utility company, gas, electricity, water, whatever, you can ring up and set up a payment plan with them. My advice is, if you can avoid it, do. They are shonky. There you go, I'll say it. If you've got a debt of $800 and you contact them and and contact your power company. Say, look, I can't pay my power bill. It's $800. Can I pay it off at $100 a week for the next 8 weeks? Chances are they're going to come back to you and say, oh, we'll happily set up a payment plan with you. $100 a week. Yes, it'll be $100 a week for 24 months, and you just have to sign this agreement. And you are signing a contract to pay $2,400 on an $800 debt. Now, they will, of course, credit your account with the extra money, but you don't need to be locked into that. Don't accept those terms. Negotiate around them. Negotiate around them, and call them on it. If that's what they do to you, if they come back and say, oh, well, we want 12 months or 24 months or whatever, call them on it and say, well, it's only going to take me 8 weeks to pay off this debt, so why do I have to be locked in for 24 months or 12 months or whatever? Call them on it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, Maureen mentioned last week about her bank, ANZ, not having cards anymore, debit cards, ATM cards. I got a message from one of my banks, which is Bank West, that from the 1st of June, they won't be processing BPay payments anymore. Now, I pay all our water, our gas, our electricity, the insurances. I pay just about everything by BPay. Now, I know I can go to the post office and do it, but I'm like, seriously, banks? Do they not want customers? Don't make it difficult for people to use their money. Of course, they want it to be difficult for us to use our money. Tinfoil hat time, sorry. So when you're setting up your payments, think about those things too. Okay, so when you're going to set up a debt repayment schedule, you've got all your debts. So you might have a car loan 1, car loan 2, the mortgage. You could have a credit card 1, credit card 2. You could have 5. What you're going to do on your payment is make a list of all your debts and the amount owing on them and the interest rate. I say this, we'll do it with the interest rate. What you're going to do is pick the debt with the smallest balance. And, no, sorry, backtrack. Let me start again. Using the payment push, okay, you are going to get all your debts, whatever they are, and you're going to know what it is, the amount owing, the interest rate, and the minimum payment due this month. Okay. Then you are going to rank them in order from smallest debt to biggest debt. Hopefully your mortgage will be your biggest debt. Smallest to biggest. Okay. And they'll all have their minimum payment next to them. This month, you are going to pay the minimum payment on all those debts. That minimum payment is going to be the ongoing payment from here on out for each of those debts. Doesn't matter what the minimum payment is on the account next month. The minimum payment this month is what you will pay ongoing. That simply means that each month you are just going to be paying just that little tiny bit extra on each bill. By choosing to put the smallest at the top, it's going to be gone the fastest. Once that debt is gone, you will take that payment and add it to the next debt. Keep paying those minimum payments, but the minimum payment for your next debt will have increased a bit. You will keep doing that until that debt's gone. You will then take that money and add it to the third the whole time you are also still paying just that little bit more than the minimum payment on every debt. It reduces the interest slightly, not a lot, but slightly, but it means you get rid of your debt quickly, faster than struggling to pay the minimum on all of them all the time. Does that make sense? So you've got your list. You're going to put your payment push to the smallest debt, which is at the top of the list. If you get any extra cash in, you might sell something on Marketplace. You might do some overtime. Someone might give you some money for your birthday or Christmas or whatever. Throw that at the debt. Throw that at the debt. You want to clear this debt as quickly as you can. Throw it at the debt. Raises, bonuses. If you find money under the sofa cushions or in the bottom of a handbag, put it towards your debt. Just keep plugging away at it. It's that simple. It's really simple. It's quite easy once you get into the hang of it, and it's simple. But more importantly, it actually works. It really works. You will get your debt paid off much faster, and you will be debt-free, which means that you can then start saving so that you'll be cashed up. And once you've done that, you will be laughing. Now, remember, this is only for a short amount of time. In the grand scheme of your life, it's only for, it might be 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. It might be 6 months, depends on what your debt is. But it's only for a short amount of time. It is not forever. You can do it if you really want to. And if you think you're not able to do it, you are. You absolutely are. All right, now we might need to do that, a more in-depth thing on the payment push, but right. The next one in my list is financial history. And you might be going, what the, why, huh? But this is just a summary of the large bills, debts that you've successfully paid off. And it could be something like a gym membership. You get locked into a contract and you give up going after a month, but you're locked in for 3 years. Keep a record of it. Any large, like mortgages, car loans, credit cards you've paid off, any large debts, your HEX debt, HEX or HELP, whatever they call it now, keep a record of them. Because sometimes we need to know when those debts were finalised. We need to be able to prove it. So keep a record of them. Keep a record of your financial history. If you've got a record of them on this sheet, you can see at a glance what the debt was, how much it was, when it was paid off, how it was paid off. You will know, because sometimes we need that information and it's for different things. You might be applying for a new mortgage. You want to buy a new house, you need more money. You need this financial history. And yes, the bank will do their own checks, but you need to be able to check yours too and check against what the bank has. It also means that if you've got them listed on just one sheet of paper, you can see it. You can go to the appropriate file and drag out the original paperwork if you need to find the exact details, the account number, that sort of stuff. And then the last one is donations. Guys, 10-10-80. Give 10%, save 10%, live on 80%. So the 10% you give, keep a record of it. Keep a record of it so that you know you donated X amount of dollars to the Red Cross, Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, you guide dogs, whoever. Keep a record of it. Because if you don't keep a record of what you give and who you give it to, come tax time, what are you going to do? You need to keep the record. You need the backup. Staple your receipts. Staple your receipts when you get them to the sheet. Just having this information at your fingertips, come tax time, your tax agent, your accountant is going to smile at you and go, thank you for being so organized. This is brilliant. Easy peasy. They're just the bonus sheets in our bill paying system. Again, they're not complicated, but they're really useful. So let me summarize. Fill out your sheets. Set a regular time to pay your bills. It could be on payday, which is when I suggest you do it, or the same date each month, 15th, 1st, 30th, whatever works for you. On payday, you look at your payday planner to see which bills need to be paid from the current payday and which needs to be prepared for the next payday. You get them ready to process via BPay or direct deposit, or go to the post office, whatever your preferred method. If you might even have them set up as a direct debit. Once the bills are paid, you file your statements in the pocket divider in your sheet protector in the category for that bill. Then on the last day of the month, complete the bill planner so that you can keep track of the expenses. Do it for 6 months, because that really gives you a good record of your bills, helps you establish a much more accurate budget. And you simply start a new monthly bill summary and payday planner for each new month. That's it. It's really simple, easy, and it doesn't take long. Okay. All right. That's it. Now I'm just going to scoop back up. Do I have an income tracking sheet? That's in your income tracking is in your budget or your spending plan, whatever you call it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me go right back. Guys, last week, do you remember last week I was going, I can't read the comments. I can't see anything. I was as blind as a bat last week. Because when I went to bed and I took my glasses off, I had my really old reading glasses on. I wasn't thinking. I don't know. I'd been cleaning during the day and found them and popped them on to see if they still work for reading. Never took them off. I like that. No such thing as a piece of paper, because it turns into a pile of good intentions. Yep. Get it, action it, handle it once. Paper handled once. Andrea, food's your biggest leak. Read what you can on the $300 a month food challenge. Yes, it is possible, guys, to feed your family well for $300 a month. But prices are going up. We need to be a little more savvy. We need to put a little more effort into meal planning. We need to be really conscious of less waste and looking for alternative ingredients. We can't afford our favorite brand anymore. We can't afford it. We have to find something else. What was that? Jules says, financial advisors recommend recording daily spending if when you're getting ready for retirement. Look, we should do it as a matter of course every day. It should be just something we do so that just so we can balance our budget at the end of the month. I know that most of us aren't bookkeepers or even that sort of have that sort of mindset, but if we don't know where the money's going, how can we say we budget? How can we say that we're doing well? We can't. And yes, Hev's right. The money leaks do become more apparent when you track your spending and keep your receipts. When I put money in my purses, do I keep a record in them as to where you spend the money? The receipts come home and I haven't got any here. My grocery money, my grocery purse come home and there'll be cash in it and the receipt. So I do the grocery tracking spreadsheet. Sorry, I keep throwing these things at you, but I track my grocery spending too. Grocery tracking spreadsheet, and I staple the receipt to that. But in my daily record, my daily spending, I will put groceries, how much it was, just so that, you know, at the end of the week, I can go, yep, I spent this much on groceries, put this much on fuel in the car. So if I spent this much on groceries, I spent $60 on groceries and there was $300 in the purse, there should be $240 left for the rest of the month. Yep, that balances, that's okay. I don't jot that down in each purse, if that's what you're asking. But I try to keep a record of it. I really do. From years of being terrified of not having enough money to pay the bills, from years of living on almost nothing, I'm quite paranoid about making sure everything is funded. So, and making sure that I know where the money is going. I hate. I went to check the bank statement one day last week, and there was like a $1 charge there. I'm like, $1? What was it? Okay, it was nothing terrible, thank goodness, but Wayne had used it to set up a new account for the club, and of course linked it to our account for whatever reason, because now it's unlinked. I don't know, but there was that $1 test transaction. But that dollar, because I didn't do it, I didn't know where it came from. I was ready to ring the bank and say, I've been hacked, what is going on? So I like to know. I used to check every day. I don't every day now, maybe every second or third day. But that also is because I don't spend money every day anymore. There's no need. Supermarket produce is very expensive, Estelle. Yes. I covered the income tracking goes. Income tracking is part of your budget. Yeah, no, buy now, pay later. Where did that go? Delaney is absolutely correct. Absolutely no buy now, afterpay, zip pay. What's the other one? There's another one. Guys, that they are just designed to get you into debt. Do not. If you want to do lay-by, go to the store and do a lay-by. This afterpay, zip pay, that is not lay-by. Oh, is that the one I saw the other day, Joy? I saw one the other day and I looked at it, I thought it seemed quite bulky. 6 sections would be better. take an apple, or moving into winter, I think I posted this morning the cream of anything cup of soup mix. I posted it over on Cheapskate's Chatter this morning. If you're new to our channel, Cheapskate's Chatter is our Facebook group. You're welcome to join us if you would like to. Because coming into winter, afternoon tea time, a cup of tea is nice, but a cup of soup is better, if that makes sense. It just is more warming or something in winter. Right. Estelle, get into the habit of making your lunch the night before and putting it in the fridge. You can do sandwiches can be eaten on the go. You only need one hand to eat a sandwich. If holding a half a sandwich is too much, cut it into quarters. Easy. Crackers and cheese, that sort of thing. If you're going to do crackers and cheese, don't put them in the fridge. Your crackers will go soggy. Keep your cheese in the fridge, add it later. But get into the habit of packing your lunch the night before and keeping it in the fridge so that when you get up in the morning, you just have to grab it and go. But there's all sorts of things. Mini quiche are easy to eat on the go. Sausage rolls are easy to eat on the go. And if you don't like using pastry, use mountain bread instead of pastry for your sausage rolls or your mini quiche. Mountain bread's cheap. It goes a long way. Or buy wraps and use wraps instead of pastry. And they can be eaten cold. They don't need to be kept hot. Get a thermos, have a cup of soup. Lots of things. That are easy. Cut up fruit, chunks of fruit for lunches on the go. Visa debit no longer has a signature on the back. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now. That is another way of ordering your debts. Estelle, it is not one that I recommend because it can often, if you choose the smallest debt and knock it off really quickly, you've got that almost instant gratification. It doesn't always work that way, paying the highest interest first. I know there are people out there, there are gurus out there who think that is the only way to do it. It is a way to do it. I stand by, list them in order of debt, knock off the smallest first and focus on that way and get them all out of the way as quickly as you can. All right. All right, now marketplace and the cash, yeah. Off topic. Do you have a simple, cost-effective way of washing your clothes when on a camping trip that's a week or more? Yes. Get a bucket with a lid. Bunnings sell them. If you go to a bakery, I got mine from our local bakery. I don't know what comes in it. Something that they use came in it. $2 I gave him for it. He was going to give it to me and I gave him $2 for it. Bucket with a lid. And you put your clothes in, you put your water in, you put your detergent in, you put the lid on and make sure it's on nice and tight. Sit it on the floor of your car while you are traveling and it will wash. When you get to your destination, drain it, rinse them, wring them out, hang them up, and that's it. It's easy. I've used that method for 35 years. There is a cute, Hannah sent me a link over the weekend for a cute little sort of collapsible bucket washing machine thing that plugs into the cigarette lighter, or if you've got an inverter, it'll plug into your 240 volt, and it's pretty much the same sort of thing. It's just got a bit of an agitator in it, like a little washing machine, but it's only 10 litres. It will do one pair of jeans at a time. I think it uses 5 litres of water, and it was $93. So my bucket cost $2.50 and does the same thing. The one thing I struggle with when we are away is wringing out the clothes, especially the heavy things like jeans and stuff. Now, I'm probably going to gross somebody out here, but when we are in the middle of nowhere, I don't care if Wayne wears his jeans or his shorts for a week. He changes underwear, socks, and shirts get changed every day, but jeans and shorts can go, I don't care if they're for a week. Really, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Usually it's red dust country, so we're not going to be clean anyway. I don't care if he wears them for a week, which is really good because those things are hard to wring out. So what I do is squeeze out as much as I can by hand. Then I have 2 really old beach towels, and they're proper beach towels. And beach towels were huge, and you could, like, they were ginormous, great things. 2 of those, and I lay one out, put the jeans on, roll it up, and Wayne on one end, on the other end, and we twist it and twist it and twist it and twist it and wring the water out that way. Now, doing that, we can get them pretty much almost dry, but that does need 2 people. I can't do that on my own. But that's how I deal with washing. We were just talking about it because we are off in a few weeks, and we'll be away for about 8 weeks, 8 or 9 weeks. So, yeah, all these things are always at the back of my mind. The other thing I always have is pegs and rope to make clotheslines, and it's different lengths. I've got a bag with different lengths in because sometimes the trees are close together and sometimes they're far apart. And pegs that just live in a box in the camper. Okay. French onion soup mix is very handy, and it's nice and warm. Is everybody happy, Maureen? I need to recost that meal plan. I'm a bit nervous. Okay. Okay. Jeans are recommended to wash every 10 wears or freeze. Freeze. I have to think about that one. Cat, get hubby to put a big handle on camper, put clothes through the handle, and you can wring it out yourself. There's nowhere really to put a big handle on our camper. I'll think about it. I'll see what he says. Okay. Yes, you will. And fingers crossed, folks, I will even be able to do some lives out in the middle of nowhere for you. We're looking into how that's all going to work. So I'll have, while I'm away, there will be recorded videos for you each Tuesday, but hopefully I'll be able to pop on and say, look at this beautiful gum tree behind me. Isn't it glorious? Or whatever. And see how we go. Wayne wants me to do some camp cooking videos. I have to say, guys, my camp cooking is pretty much like it is at home. Nothing spectacular. But he thinks that camp cooking videos might be fun to do. So we'll see. We'll see. Oops, sorry. Oh, Maureen, they're loving desserts. This is going to sound really weird. If you think back to 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, and none of us are that old, or well, I don't think we are anyway, but even when I was a little girl, we had dessert every night. Now, it was never anything flash, like, you know, but it would have been baked rice custard. It might have been apple sponge. It could have been semolina with jam, my absolute favourite. I still make that sometimes. Or tinned fruit with ice cream. But we had dessert every night. If the mum set the table, and there was always cutlery, bread and butter plate, bread and butter knife. And on the table was always a plate of bread and a butter dish. And then we had our meal, and there was always dessert. And I don't remember, there were never leftovers, but I don't remember my dad or my brother being particularly hungry or wanting more after we had tea. And I'm pretty sure, and I know that the portions, the plates were much smaller back then, and the portions were proper portions. They weren't huge like they are these days. Nobody complained about being hungry. And I'm pretty sure it was because there was bread and butter on the table to have with your meal and dessert. And it was never a huge, big piled up. It was like a serve of cream baked rice custard, or a piece of apple pie. And one apple pie would do us for 2 nights. So it was a small portion. It wasn't huge. Desserts work really well. And someone said that a couple of years ago, someone called me on it, said, oh, if you have dessert, it just increases your budget too much. And I can remember saying it wouldn't cost any more than paying for all the snacks. To have a healthy dessert, a fruit-based dessert, fruit-based dessert, something like that, wouldn't cost any more than buying the snacks that people seem to crave after dinner. Dessert is a good thing. And I know we don't have dessert every night anymore, mainly because I'm lazy, guys. I can't be bothered. Okay, lights are flickering. Wonder why our lights are flickering. Huh. Anyway, not even particularly windy. All right. But if I make, you know, rice pudding or an apple pie or an apple sponge or a plum sponge or an apricot sponge or whatever fruit I've got in the freezer sponge, sometimes it's a fruit salad sponge, and we have it with custard, or if I'm really nice, I'll let them have ice cream. They love it. They just love it. So, we were, yeah, jobs were more physical. Jobs were much more physical. Joy says they have dessert every night. Tinned peaches with crumble topping. Yep. Waffles from the freezer. Yep. Yeah, we had dessert every night. Okay. And Cheryl said bread and butter was always on the table. It was. Everyone's so conscious. I think we've lost the art of eating healthfully, and I mean that. We're all very conscious about sugar and fat and artificial flavorings, colorings, whatever, and whether it's preserved, how it's preserved, where it came from, that sort of thing. But we've actually lost the art of eating correct portions of meat or poultry or fish, correct portions and enough of the vegetables with a variety, and that covers your desserts and your grains too. So your breads, we've lost that art. We're also focused on, oh, you know, bread's a big no, so we can't have bread. And actually, bread is very good for you. The right type of bread is very good for you and is better than a lot of the other garbage we eat. Apple sponge is so fun. Oh, junket. Now, you used to be able to get junket tablets from IGA. I don't know if you still can. I still have some in the cupboard. I love junket. Who else? It's Jules and I, the only ones that like junket. Yum. Junket. Rain. Yeah, okay. Well, the garden will be grateful for rain, Delaney. Wayne was over your way today, Joy, and I said to him, you should have rung Joy and called him for a cuppa. He'd move in if you had those. If you knew you were having those for desserts, he'd move in. You'd have a border. He'd think that would be lovely. Yeah. Well, true. Lots of cooking from scratch and pretty much plain food. I know they had wonderful things like devils on horseback and the oranges with the toothpicks stuck in with the pink pickled onions and the green pickled onions, but the food was pretty much just food. It wasn't necessarily manufactured. So it was, yeah, I could believe that, Andrea. Oh, no, I don't have an apricot cream pie. Could you not just substitute apricots for the apples in an apple cream pie? Because I would think that that's just your stewed fruit and you put your cream through, put your pastry in and bake it. Is that not right? Someone correct me. Oh, but they still had morning tea, afternoon tea and supper, Cheryl. But breakfast, I think we've lost the art of breakfast for them. And even people that have breakfast don't have, will often have just a quick grab on the run sort of grab and go breakfast. And I know I'm guilty of doing that for my boys. I will make the muffins, do the sausage and egg muffins and whatever for them, put them in the freezer. They just nuke them and off they go. But up until I left home, every morning was a cooked breakfast. It was a cooked breakfast, and it would be, we would start with, in winter it was porridge, in summer it was muesli, and then there was either boiled eggs, scrambled eggs on toast, or leftover casserole or stew on toast, something like that. Always with for breakfast. And I never had morning tea. I never worried about morning tea. I didn't need it because come lunchtime I was hungry, but I wasn't starving because I'd had enough. I know that if we ate more protein in the mornings, we'd do better through the day. We'd be more alert through the day. Protein in the mornings is really important for alertness. I know we need the carbs for energy, but we need the protein too. So And maybe we just need to stop worrying about it and look at what grandma, great grandma ate and how they prepared it, and go back to doing that. I think a lot of it was they knew where their food came from too. Oh, Estelle says Woolies still has junket tablets. Junket is a milk-based dessert. It's you know, Little Miss Muffet sat in her tuffet eating her curds and whey. Junket is the curds, and which makes it sound awful, but it's flavoured. It's very silky and delicious milk-based dessert. It was just delicious. See, Maureen had junket too. Yep. Sago. Oh, frog's eyes. Tegan, you warm your milk, crush your junket tablet up, and it dissolves in the warm milk and it sets. The secret to junket is once you've mixed it, pour it into your bowl and don't move it, don't disturb it, so that it will set up nicely. Otherwise, it separates a bit. It's still good, just doesn't look as pretty. And Delaney doesn't like junket. Oh, I love junket. Yeah, never leave. Yeah, we all grew up with never leaving food on the plate. Oh no, Kylie, that wouldn't be so good. Okay, guys, I've gone over time again. Sorry about that. That's our bill paying system. I'll put a link to it underneath me when we're finished. Pretty much, it's easy. But if you can control your bills, if you know what bills have to be paid, when they have to be paid, how much they have to be paid, there's no excuse. And once you've got your budget set up and you've got your bill account rolling over, it's a dream. It's a breeze. Anyone can do this. If I can do it, and I've done it for a long time, anyone can. Okay, now I am going to have to go. I didn't realize it was quite so late. So I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me quite this long. It's a long time. I absolutely really appreciate you taking the time on your Tuesday evening to visit with me. If you're not already a subscriber to our channel, please click that subscribe button. I would be so honoured. And then just check the little bell, and that just means we can notify you every time we go live or upload a new video, and there will be plenty while I'm away. If you like tonight's topic, let me know in the comments. I do read every comment. And if I know what you like, it helps me with planning. And don't forget, thumbs up, please, guys. Lastly, if you know anyone who might like this video or who might like to know more about Cheapskates Club, there is a share button, so it will send them a link. Feel free to do that. We don't pester them ever. They'll just get a link, and it's up to them then. It's 3 things: like, subscribe, and share. They help our channel grow and help it be found more easily. And the easier it is to find us, the easier it is to spread the message that it is absolutely possible and perfectly okay to live life debt-free, cashed up and laughing, even in today's crazy world. I will be back next Tuesday night. So until then, have fun living the Cheapskates way, guys, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.